The Northeast problem. The Northeast region comprises the 7 sister states, that is, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Tripura. Sikkim became a full state of the Indian Union in 1975 and became a member of the Regional North-Eastern Council in 2003 and became a 8th Northeastern state. These states are grouped under the Ministry of Development of Northeast Region of the Government of India. These states are surrounded by many countries such as Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, and China. These states are connected to the rest of India by a narrow strip of land known as the Siliguri Corridor. During the British Raj, the English administered India's northeast as a barrier zone between Bengal Plains, China, and Burma. They avoided imposing direct administration except for Assam, where there had been a significant British investments in tea, oil, and timber. After the British left, India wanted to merge the whole region into national administration. This led to violent opposition. Armed rebellion emerged as the common form of resistance. Even today, there are more than 70 insurgent groups actively functioning. Currently, most of the states in the region are affected by some form of conflict except for Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, and Sikkim, in which the situation is relatively stable. The reasons for the conflicts in the Northeast region are wide-ranging. They are separatist movements to inter-community, communal, and inter-ethnic conflicts. In the region, several armed groups operate. Some groups call for a separate state, others for a regional autonomy, while some extreme groups demand complete independence. One of the major problem areas is that the Northeast is territorially organized in such a manner that ethnic and cultural nature of the people were ignored during the process of marking out of state boundaries in the 1950s. This gave rise to the discontentment. The Naga insurgents, for example, which started in 1950s, known as the mother of the Northeast insurgencies, is one of the oldest unresolved armed conflicts in the world. There are existing territorial disputes between Manipur and Nagaland, Nagaland and Assam, Meghalaya and Assam, and Mizoram and Assam. These territorial conflicts are often based on historical border disputes and differing ethnic, tribal, or cultural similarities. There have been a number of rebellious activities and regional movements in all parts of the Northeast. An appropriate example of this would be the July 2012 violence in the state of Assam, where riots erupted between the indigenous Bodos and the Bengali-speaking Muslims. This violent outbreak followed ethnic tensions between the native Bodo community and the Muslim immigrants from Bangladesh who had settled down in Assam. While the Muslim community state that they are descendants of the East Bengal Muslims brought to Assam during the British Raj, local communities allege that the Muslim population has increased because of the illegal migrants from Bangladesh. Following these attacks, people from northeastern states were targeted by Muslims in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka, triggering an exodus. Demand for creation of separate states has been ongoing since the 1980s. The native Bodo community has led an agitation for the creation of separate Bodoland state. The Dimasas, spelled as Dimasas, another indigenous community of the Assam, has been demanding a separate state called Dimaraj or Dimaland for several decades now. Regional tensions have reduced the efforts of the government to raise the living standard of the people in these regions. However, militancy still exists within these regions. Due to this, the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, that is AFSPA, was passed in August 1958 as a short-term measure to allow deployment of the army to counter militants. It has been in place for the last 5 decades and was extended to all the 7 states of the Northeast region in 1972 except Mizoram. There are several autonomous administrative divisions of India to which the central government has given autonomy within the state legislature. The autonomous councils are based on the 6th schedule to the Constitution of India, which deals with the provisions for administration of tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. India's Look East policy was formulated in 1991 in the face of India's economic liberalization. It was a foreign economic policy initiative towards the Southeast Asia. This policy is now being planned to be used as a development tool. Foreign policy initiatives can be merged into the national economic development. The Northeast, which is geographically situated between mainland India and Southeast Asia, can have immense developmental benefits as a result of the initiative. This can definitely have effects on reducing poverty in the region and also the insurgency and the armed conflict. The region's diverse natural resources, rich biodiversity, and enormous hydroelectric potential, among others, can help to overcome the feeling of the neglect.